Hello everyone, my name is Daniela Ferrigno and I'm speaking on behalf of my group members, Emma, Faith, Allison, and Haley, for the LIS507 Group Seminar Project. For our project, we have chosen to discuss information security, the role it plays in a public library environment, and the current issues both inside and outside this environment. Let's begin. What is information security? Information security is defined by the National Institute of Standards and Technology as the protection of information and information systems from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, disruption, modification, or destruction in order to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Information security is an essential part of all organizations and is carried out through the use of policies or laws, technology, and education and awareness. As mentioned in the definition of information security, the goal is to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability, those of which make up the three fundamentals of information security. Although now, there are many more facets of information security, these three remain at the core of security standards. As we have learned, the information lifecycle refers to the stages of life an entity of information will flow through from its creation to its eventual destruction. As a general overview, an information entity is first acquired by an organization and then organized through some sort of classification system. Next, the entity is stored in some manner that allows users to retrieve and access that information and allows for the dissemination of the entity beyond the collection or information database. At the end of the information lifecycle, the entity may be archived or weeded if its maintenance has been deemed no longer necessary for the organization. Information security influences each stage of the information lifecycle, and since each stage is connected, security vulnerabilities in one stage may have negative consequences for the others. When the lifecycle of an information entity takes place within the same organization, in this case a public library, information is stored, retrieved, accessed, and disseminated through the same security system as end networks. If there are any weak spots in those systems at any point in the information lifecycle, that information entity may be stolen or manipulated by bad actors. In a public library setting, information that is acquired must be stored in a way that ensures user privacy and confidentiality is maintained. For example, libraries typically keep some sort of patron records in a database. If there are flaws in the library's information storage system, user data may be at risk during the retrieval phase of the information lifecycle, and private patron information, like personal information and materials borrowed from the collection, may be accessed by unauthorized users who do not usually have permission to view this information. There is also some risk in the use of library devices to access information in the organization's digital databases if there are vulnerabilities in the software systems meant to protect user data. If there are breaches in the system, user data, including passwords, may be stolen. Information security is also important to the library's physical collections in addition to the digital databases. When physical library materials, such as books or DVDs, are accessed and disseminated in the information lifecycle, there is a chance they may be damaged, lost, stolen, and are consequently inaccessible to other users in the future. Many libraries organize and store acquired materials in ways that allow staff members to track where an item is located in the building for retrieval and which patrons, who are authorized users with library cards, have borrowed it when it's disseminated. Libraries have systems in place that are meant to prevent unauthorized use and dissemination of its materials. For example, when items such as DVDs are stored, they typically include some sort of security lock that prevents the DVD from being accessed without first being checked out. When information security is kept in mind during different stages of the information lifecycle, it makes it more likely physical materials will be returned to the library to be accessed by the next patron. Information security is extremely significant in a public library setting. There are many actions that libraries could take in order to ensure that the information of both library staff and patrons is protected. According to the article, Information Security Policies, referenced at the end of this lecture, policies surrounding information security are created for multiple reasons such as confidentiality, integrity, keeping information available, and achieving both authenticity and privacy of information. Only over the last few years has this become a major concern that is being addressed by public libraries. This is due to the increase of networks and databases being used by public libraries over the years. Therefore, the opportunity for attacks against libraries regarding patron, library, and staff information has increased. Since information security is occurring in many different realms within libraries, there are multiple different examples of information security policies that are followed. For example, patrons may need to follow a policy regarding the correct use of equipment, such as electronics, whereas staff will follow a policy surrounding how to protect these resources as patrons are making use of them. Another role that public libraries have when participating in information security is having a background regarding the threats that they may face. It is understood that a lack of knowledge allows for issues to be overlooked, leading to a higher chance of threats to present themselves. These threats could be something as small as a drop of liquid on an electronic device, leading to ruined hardware, or something as large as malicious activity performed against an entire organization. Some major security issues that libraries face involve the streaming services or media that public libraries offer. As a subscriber to the service, the library has to ensure that the streaming service and digital content is being used by authorized users and in accordance with the terms of use from the streaming company and the contract the library has with the company. Additionally, streaming services or online services, such as Libby or Hoopla, are separate entities from the library and therefore could have different firewalls or software protection other than what the library has. Patrons using these services are susceptible to security breaches, cyber attacks, phishing attempts, and other ransomware attacks. As a separate company that the library is partnering with to provide streaming services or digital media to their patrons, they might also have different policies on the purging of information. While your public library might regularly purge information or not keep it for prolonged periods of time, the streaming or digital media services might not have that same policy. The number one threat to any security system is human behavior. A way that human behavior can negatively impact information security is if the users aren't using the security system correctly, which means that the security parameters won't be as effective. For example, a user forgetting to turn on the security system. Another way that human behavior can negatively impact information security is via unattentive staff who don't adhere to organizational information security policies and procedures, such as an employee clicking on a link of a phishing email. An individual's security intelligence behaviors are strongly influenced by their perception of risk, which in turn is influenced by the organization's security environment and culture. Security programs and parameters are only as successful as the individuals who use them. If the individuals involved do not accept the importance of the security program, it will likely not work. As a result, public libraries need to both educate their employees and their patrons, as well as foster an organizational culture that values the importance of information security, because security procedures are only as effective as the individuals involved. Ransomware and cyber attacks likely won't be able to be completely avoided since they are constantly adapting to new technology, but there are preventable measures that public libraries can take to prevent or minimize the impact of an attack. Libraries can institute strong password policies, limit the use of third-party apps by staff, install antivirus packages on computer systems, conduct frequent audits of their security systems, and train their staff on phishing and cyber attacks, what they look like, and how to properly respond to reduce damage to library systems. Libraries can also have backups of all of their important data, as well as encrypt this data for extra security. As previously stated, no security system is ever going to be able to 100% prevent ransomware and cyber attacks. But in the event that one does happen at your public library, be sure to be transparent with patrons about what data the library saves. It is often a good policy for libraries to avoid saving sensitive patron data. Try to only save patron names, phone numbers, and addresses. Never save credit card or social security information. Library administration and IT staff also need to be in regular communication in order to work together to maintain library security. Here we have provided a few important points that were useful to all working in various information environments. If working at a desk while serving patrons, close out private information you may have on your computer if you ever need to step away. Know the protocols for receiving and sending emails that are outside of your organization. They may be suspicious and hold harmful contents. Install protections such as security systems on your computer and review them often to ensure they are working properly. Be sure to keep your team and coworkers up to date on information security efforts in your organization. Information exists in all fields and must be protected to ensure confidentiality, accessibility, and integrity. To summarize our seminar, all organizations need information security, and it affects all stages of the information life cycle. Public libraries need to protect both the information they loan and patron information. Information security is a group effort, and all individuals involved need to work together to keep information secure. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have learned something valuable about information security and the role it plays in public libraries. Here are references. Thank you again.